Hi, Dr. Monica Mhoja. Thank you so much for joining us today and having a conversation with us at the Girls Group Solidarity Studio. Please introduce yourself, your organization, and the work that you do.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Monica Magoke Mhoja. I work with Landesa. Landesa is an international organization based in Seattle, USA, but it has other offices in countries. And so my role is Outreach Director Africa. We have country offices in Africa. We have actually new here in Rwanda, but also we have in Kenya, Liberia, in Tanzania, and also Landesa is the secretariat of the global campaign Stand for Her Land. And in Tanzania also, where Stand for Her Land campaign was rolled and implemented on the ground as a role model. Tanzania Landesa is also a secretariat. Although I'm the outreach director Africa, but I'm based in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. So I also support my colleagues in Tanzania and also other Stand for Her Land within Africa. We have a Stand for Her Land now in Uganda, in Ethiopia, in Senegal. So that's my role, is to ensure that we are reaching out. Yeah, for instance, in Africa, positioning ourselves currently with the Africa Union. You know that as Africa, we have the Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. We want to ensure that what we are implementing at Landesa and especially within Africa, we are also contributing to the Africa we want.
Thank you very much. And the Stand for Her Land campaign is one that is gaining a lot of momentum. Are you able to share with us what are the main objectives? And if those objectives are realized, what would that world look like?
Thank you very much. As I said, Stand for Her Land is a global campaign. The main goal is bridging the gap between law and practice. Currently, globally, there are a number of countries where they've already established legal framework, good institutions, law and policies. For instance, in Tanzania, our land laws are progressive. Specifically, they say women and as equal to men, they have right to access, use, control land. But in practice, the implementation is very slow. So there are similar other countries like Tanzania where there are good laws, policies, but implementation is poor. That's why the Stand for Our Land campaign has come with this to bridge the gap between this law and practice. And it is globally, in every nation where they stand for a land, country offices are coordinating to have, for instance, task forces to analyze the background of issues of land rights in those countries and come up with their own objectives depending on circumstance within that country. For instance, in Tanzania, at the national level, they want to ensure that women own land. That's one of the objectives, to ensure that women own land, either individual or as couples or partners or within a group. You know, sometimes women have their own groups or cooperatives or communities. You have communities like the Maasai, you know, where they own land as communities. What we need to do within that community is to ensure that gender issues are really implemented. Apart Another thing within the Office of Tanzania, for instance, is issue of decision making, to ensure that women have meaningful decision and they are part of decision makers from local level to national level within the country, and also promote women who are able to the regional and international level, and within these issues of land rights. And another issue which they deal with is the issue of land-based investment. there are a lot of land-based investments where sometimes women, they don't know, the community, they don't know their rights. So we want to ensure that women are aware of what is going on when they are investors, and their rights are taken care, and they are involved as well. And if there's any issue, they can raise their voice. They can reach out. They're empowered on that. And last but not least is the issue of economic empowerment. Yes, they are going to own land, then what? If they are going to own land, then that land should enable them to be economically powerful. We connect them with other organizations who are maybe, for instance, in Tanzania, the local governments, they also give loans, where the loans are not with that, like the big banks where they have a lot of these attachments. Those simple loans help a number of women to, we have evidence where we are working. I can mention, for instance, in Mufindi district, where women have been empowered and are given loan, and those loans from the government, they are buying more land. They're actually using to ensure they do smart agriculture. They're empowered on that. And also they join themselves in groups and ensure that they are even having long-term products, like trees in those areas. So in every country, they're coming up with something which they think it's more important towards implementing the legal institutions, legal framework, and bridging that gap. And within that, also creating awareness is very important. In Tanzania, for instance, is a task force of 25 members. And those 25 members, Landesa is the secretariat, but Tanzania Women Lawyers Association is the chair. And a number of organizations who are doing different things, maybe land use planning, where they ensure that they work with the government and women are getting certificate which they can use them, or whatever to be confident with that. So that's some of the objectives which we are doing specifically in Tanzania, but across, is to bridge the gap between law and practice. And another thing which is very important is the voice of grassroots. We are centered on the issue of ensuring the voice of grassroots, strengthening the voice of grassroots, and all the national coordinations, they center on grassroots. We are raising the voices of these grassroots who are more vulnerable, more discriminated in some of our social norms. I've already said that we have, most of countries, they have good laws and policies, but there is a challenge of social norms, some of harmful traditions and culture. And some within those communities, they don't see them as harmful, but they're actual, at the end of the day, they're obstacles for women to own and use and control land. So that's one of the major issue where we are calling upon other governments, other civil society organization, private organization, to ensure that they are working together with us, Stand for Land campaigns, to implement the laws, the legal frameworks, the institutions which are there. Because what we have now in place globally, the good laws, if they're implemented, the secure land rights for women will be, we will not be talking about that now, but they are not they are not implemented as we would like. The pass, the push is not as it's supposed to be there. There are a lot of lip talking. There are a lot of theories. And even some leaders, they speak and say, oh, we want the women to own land, but at the end of the day, they don't believe in that. So change of mindset is very important.
Excellent, excellent. And thank you for sharing that. I think we're also fired up to join the campaign. And so for people who are watching and want to join the Stand for Her Land campaign, how do they go about it?
Thank you very much. If, for instance, they're in a country where Stand for Land is not there, because we are going step by step by step. Normally, we do some assessment within the country to see how it's going to be done. For instance, Landesa, we have an office in Kenya, but we don't have a stand for our land in Kenya. So assessment is going on. They would like to join. So there is we have a website where they can share their interest that they want to join the campaign. And in some countries, actually, it will be easy because you find the civil society organization already, they have some activities, they have some projects, and they would like now to join hands. You know what's happened? The Stand for Land is not something new. We have a lot of programs and projects which have been done before. We have Kilimanjaro initiatives. We have even Tanzania, a number of programs, but the coordination and the touching together, you know, joining hands together, let us go together so that everyone should hear one voice, you know, determination, that kind of solidarity and space for everyone is there. So everyone, we want every country to be part of it. So they are welcome, everyone.
Amazing. And I loved how you said solidarity with conviction. So, what does feminist solidarity mean to you?
Feminist solidarity to me is when um, there's selflessness, there's no selfish within us. It's not about talking, it's about doing meaningful participation without leaving one behind. Girls, women, people with disability, we move together, we respect one another. And, you know, in some religious, in Africa, we still believe in God. To and many other people. And why I'm mentioning this, because everyone can know and believe on something, looking behind how the socialization and the how somebody has been raised up. So that love of one another, you know, without backbiting, to me is feminist solidarity. The love without backbiting, the love of loving you as my fellow woman and making sure that we are helping one another. We are helping one another. We are raising up one another. We are also sharing the opportunities. We are also sharing the space. You know, to me, sharing the space is part of the solidarity. You know, sharing opportunities is part of the solidarity. Loving one another is part of the solidarity. Meaningful participation is part of the solidarity. Together, we can stand up and fight for one another.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Monica, for reminding us that we do all this because of the love,
Yes.
love for each other, love
Yeah.
for our land and the environment. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to host you and wishing you the best of the luck with the campaign and the work that you do.
Thank you very much.